Hey guys, Tyler here, and welcome to the final WWE pay-per-view of 2013, Armageddon 2013. We're coming from the WWE Network, the newly established, and we have a lot of fucking interesting matches to come out with. We have some interesting based on how they've been portrayed, like a shitty match between Rey Mysterio and Batista, as well as John Cena facing Oz the Great and Powerful for the World Heavyweight Championship. But we do have some actually good ones too. We have a triple threat: Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and we have Miz, the WWE Champion, taking on John Morrison, the King of the Ring winner, in a TLC match. As well as we got some other ones: Sheamus, Samoa Joe, Perfect Fortunes, Motor City Machines. Let's just jump right into the show. So we have some pre-matches to get through, in which we have Colt Cabana, two guys who I did genuinely feel bad about leaving on the show, so I had them in dark matches, or at least on the pre-show. I don't know if they make the pre-show. Maybe because they bitch, they'd get on the pre-show. Colt Cabana defends the Intercontinental Championship against the youngster Derek Bateman, who he pins in 6:30 with a Colt 45, making defense number 4 of his tag title, or his Intercontinental title, I'm sorry. And then in another decent match, we have Drew McIntyre defeating Bobby Fish in 6:51 with a snap double underhook DDT, just to get Drew McIntyre a win. And then we have the actual show itself, basically highlighting, some various feuds. John Cena, Austin Aries, Astra Dunla, Sheamus, and Samoa Joe. The usual stuff. And our opening match is going to be Tokyo Pimp Yujiro Takahashi, the former U.S. champion, taking on the double champion Austin Aries in a match for both titles. Yujiro Takahashi wasn't able to become a double champion. Instead, Austin Aries proved his promise of winning all the belts, or at least his quest has started to win them all, and he is now on his way to try and take down we don't know what title he's going to go for next. Perhaps the tag title, maybe even the WWE title, but it looks like he probably will be for whatever title he feels like. He even could go for the Intercontinental title, due to the fact that he has the NXT title and can go beyond brands. But for this match, we'll have to see the result. In an 82B, in a good match, Yujiro Takahashi is defeated by Austin Aries when he taps out to Last Chancery. Austin Aries makes defense number 5 of his NXT title and number 2 of his United States title. Pretty good match so far. Yujiro kind of dragging the match down a bit, but Austin Aries improving massively ever since winning the United States Championship. He was doing good with the NXT Championship as well, but just not as great as when he won the United States Championship. So the double champion, the belt collector, moves on from this feud, you'd have to imagine, and Yujiro unfortunately does not win. Our next match is the Divas Championship. Astra Dunla, the Coven's leader, their representative, takes on a woman she has essentially manipulated and messed with for a pretty good amount of time so far, in between months. Katie Lee, formerly known as, was it Katie Lee Burchill? I think was the original gimmick. I think that's where I got the name from. So Katie Lee obviously taking on Astra Dunla for the women's title. And we see an 83B plus. Astra Dunla defeats Katie Lee with a Path of Blood. Astra Dunla makes defense number 1 of her WWE Divas title. So yeah, Astra improving pretty good, and Katie Lee improving really good as well. So always good to see multiple improvements. Any worker improvements? No, but just their ratings have improved, and ratings aren't everything, but they go a hell of a long way. And then after the match, the Coven, they're all out there. Obviously, they were on the set. They didn't really do anything in the match, but they swarm the ring, try to attack Haley, but AJ Lee, the former champion, saves them, and she motions for the belt. She hasn't enacted a rematch clause, but looks like she will be doing just that as we head up to our next pay-per-view, the start of the road to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble. And there we go. We have a 99 star segment, and then I believe, is there another? Yeah, there's another. Yeah, okay, it's another segment. I don't know why Chris Jericho's on screen. He shouldn't be on the screen, but whatever. We see Chris Jericho and ingame, the kind of feud package between them. Jericho obviously standing up to the Dynasty, and then moving on to a feud with the Shield, who have they're kind of in a de facto alliance. They're not in the Dynasty's way, and the Dynasty isn't in the way of the Shields. They're looking to take out Chris Jericho and his two teammates, Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen, who I originally dubbed Team Canada, but probably should have called them Jerry Zayn, because it just sounds better, but too late for that now. Not like this is going to be a thing. You know, the Shield have yet to be beaten in six-man action. Jericho himself trying to lead that, the crafty veteran with two youngsters, trying to dismantle that record to break that streak in our next match. And an 85B plus, decent match. The Shield keep their winning streak as they beat Chris Jericho and Zayn in 1603 when Dean Ambrose defeated Sami Zayn via pinfall with the Dirty Deeds. Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn really shining in this match, as well as just the other members of the Shield have really grown on since their kind of these are all a group of guys who, not just yet, maybe down the line in the diary, who knows what I have booked, could easily become main eventers at some point, and hopefully they do, because you know you want to see that. And next up we have just the shittiest match on the card: Rey Mysterio, Batista. Batista coming in as the enforcer of the Dynasty on SmackDown. The Dynasty is a Raw stable. They want to control Raw. They don't even really care about SmackDown, but Shawn Michaels and Shane McMahon started to get uppity, so they sent Batista in there. And Batista's first thought was to reignite the old feud he had with Rey Mysterio that literally none of these 72,000 people at the Alamo Dome give a single fuck about. So this match is going to eat ass. You know, because Batista just sucks. I genuinely never liked Batista in this game. He's not like Ryback levels of just like pissing me off, but it's like he just has done stuff and has just kind of underperformed to the point where it's like, why'd you even bring you in? And 81B, honestly better than I thought he would do. Batista hits the Batista bomb on Rey Mysterio in about 9 minutes, gracefully ending this fucking feud. And after that, the Dynasty, they all come out. You know, there's lots of cameras from different networks on members of the Dynasty whenever they wrestle, just to showcase them as, you know, these are the guys that WWE are, not these other fucking guys. They couldn't give a shit. But, you know, so the Dynasty come out, Miz, you know, Kane, The Big Show, Triple H, Randy Orton, they all pose. They're all happy with each other until out comes Kofi Kingston. He's been suspended by the CEO of WWE, Triple H. Not CEO, CEO. And Kofi Kingston just beats the fuck out of him with a kendo stick. He swings for the fences. He hits Batista once. Triple H once. He gets a good couple shots on The Miz. The Big Show and Kane gets some. Randy Orton probably rolls out because he's smarter than that. Kofi probably thinks about hitting Stephanie, but is like, better not. Then I'll actually get fired. And, you know, rolls out, and security eventually storm the ring. Kofi Kingston jumps out of the ring, runs up through the crowd as security, the Dynasty hired security, try to stop a good old Kofi Kingston from ruining their fun. And next up we have the tag team titles are on the line. Perfect Fortunes, the new champions, defending against the former Motor City Machines as they enacted their rematch clause for the tag titles. And 94A, always good, always. These guys always pull out great fucking ratings. Sensational wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Perfect Fortunes defeat the Motor City Machines in 20 minutes and 1 second when Dolph Ziggler defeated Sabin with a Dream Street combo. Perfect Fortune make defense number 1. First defense of the WWE World Tag Team titles. And, Dolph Ziggler and Ted DiBiase just soaring in momentum ever since they tagged, ever since they found that tag team chemistry, and it's paid dividends by their new tag title reign. Unfortunately for the Motor City Machines, they had a good reign, a small bump when Colt Cabana and Tyler Breeze won the titles for, a month. But besides that, they had been doing good. But unfortunately for them, their time on the top of the division seems to have gone away. They'll probably be back. They'll probably be around, but just don't expect them to be completely... They're not completely forgotten. They're still around, and they're still fucking good. They got 93, 99, they're mid-carders. So what do you expect, is what I'm getting at. And the next matchup we have here is a very personal one. Sheamus and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe debuting in WWE recently. He has gone on a tear. Not like an undefeated streak, not like a Goldberg thing. You know, he's human. He has lost before. He's not undefeated, but he is a badass. And in his mind, he should be undefeated. And then there's Sheamus, a guy whose head is in a completely different zone. He has had a fucking horrible 2013. He had won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, but then was in a long feud with Kevin Nash that he didn't even want to be in, but had to be. He thought he ended Kevin Nash's career. Out came Oz, who would challenge for John Cena's World Heavyweight Championship later in the night. He lost his Money in the Bank. Now the Money in the Bank has been cashed in. Sheamus is just done. He's mentally exhausted. But he could all come back if he has a good match and a good win against Samoa Joe here tonight. And this match, obviously, very hard-hitting. Not a brawl, per se, but a very... I would say, I want to use the word New Japan, but it's like New Japan-esque WWE brawl. They're beating each other up, but there's still a story being told, and that Samoa Joe is dominating Sheamus, because Sheamus' head's not in the game, but slowly Sheamus, not like a face, but is just his rage wills him onto it, and he does pick up the win at 89, I'm sorry, not 98, that would have been awesome, 98 star A, God, I'm fucking stupid, 98A match. Sheamus defeated Samoa Joe with the Celtic Cross in 17:59. It probably would have gotten a better rating if it actually hit the 18-minute mark. I want to check. No, actually, it was just holding back, stuff like that. Sheamus does pick up a much-needed win against Samoa Joe. Perhaps Sheamus' luck is turning around. And for Samoa Joe, he's human. He's had losses before. He knows what that is, but he's still probably not going to like it. And next up, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. We have Oz, Kevin Nash, revitalized his career, but is in the tail end of it. And he couldn't be in a worse situation. He wants the WWE Championship, because everyone wants the World Heavyweight Championship. He's held that gold before in WCW. Whether they were good runs or bad is up to you. All that really matters is that John Cena has come out and he is here to make a difference. John Cena has had a tremendous run. He has ended careers, whether they be just in retirement via The Rock or Sting, whether he literally just hit someone so bad they had to leave, he exiled them like Christian, he made them quit the company, whether he destroyed Dolph Ziggler's WrestleMania momentum and halted it entirely. He's beaten people like Drew McIntyre and Rey Mysterio, albeit he never really pinned Drew himself. But he's destroyed people. The Great Khali, Sin Cara, mid-carders, upper mid-card, main eventers. It doesn't matter. John Cena takes them all on in this masochist, this insane bid to become the greatest of all time. And now, in this way, is Oz. And it's John Cena, you have to imagine, he doesn't really care about the mind games. He doesn't really care about the tricks. All he cares is about ending Oz's career. And that's basically what he does. In an 89 A-star match, or 89 A-star, I'm just fucking, I really want an 89 or 98 A-star match. In an 86 B-plus match, I'm like 64, John Cena defeated Oz in 14 minutes, 30 seconds with the attitude adjustment, making quick work of Oz, making defense number 9 of his WWE World Heavyweight title. John Cena with 100, Oz with a 66. Oz just couldn't compete. Maybe he knew this was it. He tried his hardest, but he was not able to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. And after that, John Cena, his hand is raised, and he has ended, at least it seems, 2013 as one of the most dominant wrestlers of all time. It's not the most wins, it's not about that. It's about he has destroyed multiple people. He has ruined multiple careers. It's fucking insane. And then we have Oz, a guy who's basically just, he's done, and that's what happens. He bows to the crowd. He takes one last time to just let the fans soak it in. There's probably a thank you Nash chant, and he throws a little explosive device onto the ground. Some mist appears, and there Oz is gone. Another career is set at the hands of John Cena. My mouse is freaking out. And out comes CM Punk, triple threat. Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. A very obtuse feud. This feud is solely mainly about Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton. Mainly Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton having a small spat, and then Punk inserting himself into it. Punk doesn't like that Daniel Bryan sees himself as the best in the world. He sees himself as a great wrestler, but not fit for the WWE mold like CM Punk is. CM Punk believes he's the total package. Daniel Bryan is a great wrestler, but maybe, he has the mic skills, but he just doesn't have that way of thinking. And then there's Randy Orton, the Dynasty's representative. He is supposed to make the Dynasty look good. He needs to make the Dynasty look good as they've controlled it. He needs to win this. CM Punk needs to win this. Daniel Bryan needs to win this. They all need to win this. And that's basically the story of this match. Well, the story of this match is mainly CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. They just knock out Randy Orton every time he tries to interfere. Randy Orton's only saving grace is Kane. Kane interferes in the match a lot. He is hit a couple times, but he's always getting back up to referee. And the referee, obviously, triple threat, he can't get disqualified. It doesn't really matter. In the ending of this match, CM Punk seems to take Daniel Bryan a little too lightly as he goes for the GTS. Daniel Bryan attempts to lock in the label lock. CM Punk tries to power out of it, and as he's powering out of it, Daniel Bryan looks like he's just about to make CM Punk tap mid-air. He's still got it's a very awkward looking label lock, but he transitioned to a submission that probably would hurt from that way. Maybe some kind of octopus hold or something like that. Randy Orton comes in, RKO out of nowhere. Thanks, game, for going to the next segment. Damn it, game. 98 A-star match. Randy Orton, with the help of Kane and with the help of the two, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, fighting just each other, not paying attention to him, defeats Daniel Bryan and CM Punk when he hits Daniel Bryan with the RKO for the win in 1956. Almost 20 minutes. I'm just genuinely curious. Yeah, no, I was wondering if it was capped for match length. But, really great match from these guys. Always great to see CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton not disappointing. And Randy Orton picking up a win, making the Dynasty look good. Is this over, or is this something more between Punk and Daniel Bryan, as it's been shown? And next up, we have John Morrison. A guy who is... He has had an interesting year, much like his opponent. These two know each other. They fought each other before, throughout this series, even before it was a series and was just a playthrough. Raw 1000, John Morrison returned and kicked Miz's ass to win the United States title. After that, Miz defeated John Morrison at John Morrison defeated Miz at SummerSlam. Miz then defeated him at... Why can't I speak? He defeated him at WrestleMania in a great match. And now Miz, not the United States, a better champion, the WWE Championship, the position as the figurehead of all of World Wrestling Entertainment, is met by John Morrison. John Morrison is not just a cocky guy. He's not just the Monday Night Delight. He's not just the Prince of Parkour. He's not the Shaman of Sexy. He's a focused man. He won King of the Ring. He earned this opportunity, and he's waited too long. He needs the WWE Championship. If he doesn't win it now, in the eyes of the fans, they're not going to disappoint. They're not going to be like, oh, this is the end of John Morrison. John Morrison's worked too hard for that. But still, he doesn't care about that. He is going to win in his mind. He is going to win the fabled WWE Championship that's just been kept out of his grasp. And it's being kept out of his grasp now in a TLC match. A match that surprisingly favors John Morrison. And then there's The Miz. Miz had an interesting 2013. He waited in the rings. He waited for his opportunity. He cheated. Well, he didn't even cheat. He just screwed Kofi Kingston entirely at bragging rights. Defeating Kofi Kingston. Gotta make too many fucking weird noises. Defeated Kofi Kingston in an impromptu match, Money in the Bank like cash-in, with the help of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Defeating Kofi Kingston to win the WWE Championship, and has such gone on to defeat Kofi Kingston, kicking Kofi Kingston to the curb. A man who had a great rise, absolutely screwing him because he wasn't what management wanted. It was The Miz. Now The Miz is on places like Letterman. He's on interview shows. He's on late nights. He's on every kind of red carpet you can imagine with the WWE title. He's not just pro wrestling. He is sports entertainment itself. He is WWE itself. He is this industry's icon, and he will do everything. He will be damned if that's taken away from him. Out come Triple H and the Big Show, two guys. Big Show's just fat, so he's there. But Triple H, he's not using The Miz. He is with The Miz. He has taken The Miz under his wing to mold him into a person that Triple H wanted to be. Someone who's bigger than just the business. He's bigger than life, and he's made Miz that exactly. And this match is very much obviously in favor of John Morrison. Any kind of time The Miz is very brawl heavy, very technical, quote unquote, if you will. Not really, but you get what I mean. Miz tries to slow down the pace all the time, and with the help of Triple H and the Big Show does that, but anytime it gets too hot, John Morrison goes to the ropes, springboard, top rope, ladders, anything he can jump off of, he hits it. He uses the ladders. The Miz focuses on the chair aspect. He wields that chair like a pretty good fucking weapon, knocking Morrison out of the air, occasionally using a table. Maybe we get a Starship Pain onto a table. But unfortunately, all the things are against John Morrison. In a 99 A-star match, The Miz defeats John Morrison in a tables, ladders, and chairs match with a skull-crushing finale, and then running up and grabbing the title, making defense number 3 of his WWE title with the help of Triple H and the Big Show. Amazing fucking match this is. 99 A-star. Obviously great to end the pay-per-view like that. And much like Batista, there's all the cameras are on The Miz. During his entrance, during the match, and now that he's won, all the cameras, ABC, all that, Dish Network, we're on the network, but we get all these fake cameras. They're just loving The Miz and the Dynasty, but they do turn to see someone when someone's music plays that basically causes the Dynasty to shit their pants. Brock Lesnar strolls in. He doesn't attack anyone. Brock Lesnar just rolls up. Paul Heyman rolls up. Paul's like, I heard somebody was talking a lot of shit, especially considering it's, The Miz we're talking about. Brock Lesnar's back, and he wants that WWE title. And Miz, he's not really that intimidated. He's like, yeah, come get you some. Well, Triple H is like, no, you're not getting a piece of this title. So obviously some conflicting views with that, but Brock Lesnar ends the show, returning after a bit. You're also staring at Randy Orton after that match, wanting to probably eat fucking Randy Orton's asshole after Randy just fucked with them the whole time. And yeah, that's how we end Armageddon 2013. 98 A-star. Gonna print this. Gonna screen cap it, just because I thought it was good. Yeah, really good show all around. Love the booking of this. The last pay-per-view of 2013. Thank you guys all for watching. And as we head to the Royal Rumble, I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw.